coming up on BCN today. Work on a natural gas pipeline in BC expected to resume today, and rail service expected to resume tomorrow, following a proposed arrangement between chiefs and federal cabinet ministers. Plus, more than 100 protesters blocked streets and entrances to a mining convention in Toronto over the weekend. And Alberta labor and union groups rally across the province to protest the austerity measures.
Your Canada. Your Southern Alberta. Your stories. From our studios in the heart of Lethbridge, it's BCN Today with Jeanette Rocher.
Hello and thanks for joining us. Well, it's March and that means spring is on the way. And what says spring more than picnicking? Starting today, you'll be able to book city picnic shelters. The city of Lethbridge has 8 picnic shelters that can now be reserved online. In past years, reservations had to be done either in person or over the phone. Residents can also book arenas and sports fields and register for Helen Schuler Nature Center programs at leisure.lethbridge.ca. Spring also marks the beginning of construction season. Construction crews will return to work on the University Drive twinning project today. For now, it will be mainly underground utility work, but as things warm up, construction will shift to twinning University Drive from Grand River Boulevard to Sunridge Boulevard. This includes the reconstruction of the Sunridge Boulevard roundabouts. Residents can expect delays in this area over the construction season. The project is expected to be completed by November of this year. Lethbridge City Council will hold their Community Issues Committee meeting today. On the agenda is a presentation by the Sports Council. The city's waste and recycling facility is targeting greenhouse gas reduction, and energy and efficiency upgrades will be brought up by the acting facility services manager. That meeting begins at 1:30 at City Hall, and it's open to the public. Via rail service is expected to resume tomorrow, and work is expected to resume today on a natural gas pipeline in BC. That's after Wet'suwet'en hereditary chiefs and senior federal and provincial cabinet ministers reached a draft agreement on Indigenous rights and land titles yesterday. It doesn't include a consensus on the pipeline, which has been one of the root causes of road and rail blockades across the country.
We're going to be continuing to look at some more conversations with BC and, of course, with the proponent, and to further our conversation with the RCMP out on the territory. It's not over yet. We're just looking at more work in that area. The other component that we worked on together was the rights and title matter. We come up with an arrangement that we seen as probable help and assistance to all parties, so that we can see the future as a better outlook for our occupation out on the land.
More than 100 protesters blocked streets and entrances to a mining convention in Toronto on a Sunday afternoon. Organizers said they're trying to raise awareness about the harmful impacts of resource extraction to the environment and Indigenous lands.
The world's largest mining convention is happening in this building right behind me, and Toronto is out here to disrupt it, to say your business as usual cannot be allowed to continue. We're standing up to the Canadian mining extractive industry's violence, colonization, land theft, and environmental destruction. This industry is leading us directly towards a planet that is literally unlivable, and we're here to stop that from happening. I think that this year it's become more clear to more people that Canada not only was founded on the removal of Indigenous people from their land for resource extraction, but that is continuing every day. That's exactly what's happening on Wet'suwet'en land, and that's exactly what these companies are doing all over the world.
Alberta labor and union groups organized rallies across Alberta Saturday to protest the austerity measures in last week's provincial budget. Here in Lethbridge, over 100 demonstrators gathered outside the provincial courthouse as NDP MLA Shannon Phillips tore a strip off the UCP government.
This is a government whose real agenda is to cut and privatize your health care, to bring in American-style health care, to cut and privatize your education system, to cut and privatize your seniors' care.
The Southern Alberta Institute of Technology in Calgary is the first victim of official job cuts. SAIT announced Friday that 230 jobs are being cut, resulting from the Alberta budget. Meanwhile, local reactions to the provincial budget were mixed.
So as grannies, we're here to show our support for the various unions, for the various people in healthcare, because as seniors, healthcare is important to us. We're really concerned about the cutbacks to the nurses. We're very concerned about the cutbacks in education, because those are our children and grandchildren that are affected, and therefore the future.
With Budget 2020, the Alberta government is promising a return to a balanced budget by the end of its mandate in 2023. The Lethbridge Chamber of Commerce is collaborating with Economic Development Lethbridge, the University of Lethbridge, and Lethbridge College to launch #HireTogetherYQL. The campaign, while similar to the previous campaign of #ShopTogetherYQL, is aimed at opening the discussion between employers and employees, as well as embracing the community brand. Lethbridge, brighter together.
It's going to highlight the skill sets that are available for continuous learning through our post-secondaries, what our employers are doing, the opportunities that are present right now in the community, and how we connect the employees within that picture.
This campaign runs for 2 months, so it'll be finished at the end of April. So we'll have some information back in May. And then we're also working on a labor skills gap analysis with the with Lethbridge College and some of our regional partners to actually highlight where are those gaps that we're seeing in the community.
The campaign, which launches today, is asking businesses looking for employees to share posts and pictures on social media. Our West Side Crossings Branch Library gathered some excited kids Saturday for the grand opening of the new toy library.
There has been access to toy library at the main branch since 1978, but never any access to toys here in West Lethbridge. So we're super excited to offer that to the community, and we anticipate that it will be well used and well loved by the community. The decision to build the toy library was an easy one because it was based on community need and community requests, so the community actually asked for a toy library here. So right now we have this initial collection, and so everything's full, but we know that it will get used and items will be kind of moved out of this collection as they're kind of used or their popularity wanes. We are accepting donations, and you can call ahead to the library and we'll put you in touch with the right person.
The toy library was made possible through a $4,000 donation from the Friends of the Lethbridge Public Library and Fortis, Alberta. The University of Lethbridge held its 4th annual Brass Day at the CASA facility over the weekend. What exactly is Brass Day, you ask? Well, we asked U of L professor Nick Sullivan to explain.
It's an event where all these brass players from across our community in southern Alberta, either high school students or university students or community members, can all come together and just enjoy all things brass all at the same time. So we get to rub elbows with not only the faculty and each other, but with an artist from across the globe. So this year's guest is Rex Richardson, who is a professor out in the United States in Virginia and has traveled the globe as a soloist, playing with a number of great artists and ensembles. It's great to have him here. And so he's going to perform tonight with us and all of our participants at the same time.
What a weekend for the Lethbridge College men's volleyball team. They made it to the gold medal match Saturday night in the provincial championships, coming up just short, taking the silver medal after losing a hard-fought match 3-1 to Red Deer. However, the team did qualify along with Red Deer to play in the national championship tournament 2 weeks from now in Fredericton, New Brunswick. Way to go, Kodiaks. And business scams are on the rise, and a local Lethbridge company, Breathe Easy Heating and Air Conditioning, recently felt the wrath of a big-time scam that was hurting their customers.
So we started to dig a little deeper, asked some more questions, and found out that someone on social media was offering duct cleaning at a very reduced price and using our website and name. You know, these people are thieves, they're criminals. They're stealing from our community, and we didn't want that to happen. So yeah, we just wanted to let people know that when you're looking for duct cleaning or anything really, do your due diligence.
The company is hoping their customers will be vigilant in the future and ask about money transfers before the job is done. Believe it or not, March marks the start of wildfire season in Alberta. Our season begins 1 month earlier than in other jurisdictions. Alberta Forestry Minister Devin Dreschen says more than 70% of Alberta wildfires last year were caused by humans. It's often started by an out-of-control campfire or a spark from an off-highway vehicle. Last fire season, 989 wildfires burned more than 883,000 hectares in Alberta. Health officials in Ontario say the province's 4 new cases of COVID-19 had all recently traveled overseas. There have been 15 diagnosed cases of the new coronavirus in the province and 24 in all of Canada. The outbreak in northern Italy is overwhelming the public health system. 10% of Lombardy's doctors and nurses have tested positive for the virus and are in quarantine, prompting officials to bring doctors out of retirement and accelerate graduation dates for nursing students. China is reporting its lowest number of new virus infections in 6 weeks, and hundreds of patients in Wuhan are being released from hospitals. And the U.S. counted 80 cases as of Sunday and 2 deaths, both men with existing health problems who had been hospitalized in Washington state. Researchers say the virus may have been in Washington state undetected for weeks.
I mean, it's a disease. You need to pay attention to that.
I don't think we have enough cases yet to where I think we should panic.
We don't know how you get it. We have no protection against it. So that's something to worry about. Suddenly it alerts you that you need to take this seriously. They don't seem to be frightened yet, but I think a few more cases and we're going to begin to think about that.
If you're sick, stay home. If you have a temperature, stay home. If you need medical attention, get some medical attention.
Maybe we need to be a little bit careful, but I think people right now at least are taking a little too far.
It's not necessarily an outbreak or anything, but just more of the emotional response is going to be there.
Joe Biden scored a thundering victory Saturday in South Carolina's Democratic primary on the strength of African American support. A win so decisive that it pushed other contenders to exit the race and gave a big edge to Bernie Sanders.
And we are very much alive. Folks, as we celebrate tonight here in Columbia, let me talk directly to Democrats across America, especially those who will be voting on Super Tuesday. This is the moment to choose the path forward for our party. This is the moment, and it's arrived. Maybe sooner than anyone guessed it would, but it's here. And the decisions Democrats make all across America in the next few days will determine what this party stands for, what we believe, and what we'll get done.
Pete Buttigieg ended his campaign for president with a call for unity. The former mayor of South Bend, Indiana, fared poorly in South Carolina's primary and said Sunday night that the path had narrowed to a close for his candidacy.
And today is a moment of truth. After a year of going everywhere, meeting everyone, defying every expectation, seeking every vote, the truth is that the path has narrowed to a close for our candidacy, if not for our cause.
Billionaire activist Tom Stair, who poured millions of dollars into his Democratic presidential campaign, is ending his bid after a third-place finish in the South Carolina primary. Stair made the announcement Saturday night in Columbia.
I got into this race for really, really good reasons. But there's no question today that this campaign, we were disappointed with where we came out. I think we got 1 or 2 delegates from congressional districts, which I thank South Carolina for, and the people. But I said if I didn't see a path to winning, that I'd suspend my campaign. And honestly, I can't see a path where I can win the presidency.
And turning our eyes overseas, North Korea fired 2 unidentified projectiles into the ocean today. The North has apparently resumed weapons demonstrations after a months-long hiatus that may have been forced by the new coronavirus crisis in Asia. 2 days ago, North Korea's state media reported leader Kim Jong-un supervised an artillery drill aimed at testing combat readiness. And a little closer to home, a mild tremor shook Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, causing houses to shake. Halifax police fielded 911 calls from anxious people last night. Earthquakes Canada says the earthquake-like event registered a magnitude 2.6. And there is a wind warning in effect for Lethbridge. We can expect 100 or higher winds from here to the BC border. We could also see some showers later today. I'll have a full look at weather coming up after the break. Stay with us. And welcome back to our Monday weather highlights. For today, we're taking a look at a possibility of showers later on today. And watch out for those wind gusts. They're going to be up to 100 per hour and then dissipate to only 50 per hour. 8 degrees is the high today. Overnight low tonight is 3. And into tomorrow, we could see a possibility of it jumping up to 11 degrees. And then it looks like rain's coming back at us in the forecast for Wednesday with a high of 5, and then jumping up to the double digits for Thursday and Friday with a high of 10 degrees, and possibly the teens for Friday, 13 degrees with lots of sunshine. And then look what happens on the weekend. We go from 13 to a possibility of -8 and -4 for Saturday and Sunday, and flurries. So weather's a little bit all over the place right now. The average highs this time of year, 4. Lows, -9. The high temperature on this day was back in 94. It was 17 degrees, and in 1960, it was a chilly -35. The sun rose this morning at 7:11, and it will be setting at 6:15 p.m. So let's take a look at what's happening across Canada today for our highs. On the west coast, showers expected in Victoria and Vancouver with a high of 11 degrees in Victoria, 7 degrees in Vancouver. 7 also expected up in Edmonton, and 6 degrees in Calgary with a mix of scattered clouds across Alberta today. Also very windy in the Calgary area. Over in Saskatchewan, we're going to see a high of 2 degrees in both Saskatoon and Regina, and some flurries. Flurries also expected today in Winnipeg with a high of 0 degrees. Now looking further east, Toronto, we're going to be seeing a possibility of showers there with a high of 7 degrees. Same thing for Ottawa. Their high is going to be 3. Same thing for Montreal, with showers expected in Montreal as well. There is a weather alert also expected in Montreal today. Fredericton will see a high of 1 degree, possibility of some flurries there. Mix of sun and cloud across Halifax today with a high of 3, high of 0 in Charlottetown, and then over in St. John's, Newfoundland, a high of -2 with the possibility of some flurries there. There you go. That is your weather. Here's a look at what's happening in your community.
Here's your Bridge City News community calendar. Men, young and old alike, are invited to come join the Lethbridge Christian Men's Choir. Practices are held every Thursday from 7:30 to 9 p.m. at Trinity Reformed Church. The choir practices are in preparation for spring concerts as well as occasional performances at the hospital and seniors' homes. For more information, call 403-328-7985. The Kinsman Club of Lethbridge invites you to their 6th annual Mardi Gras Charity Gala on Saturday, March 14th at the Sandman Signature Lethbridge Lodge. The evening begins at 5 p.m. where you can enjoy the ambiance of the French Quarter, which will also feature a 5-course Cajun meal, games and entertainment, a silent auction, dance, and much more. Tickets are $80 and can be purchased at eventbrite.ca. Proceeds to go towards the Ready, Set, Go Back to School fair. For event details, visit the Kinsman Club of Lethbridge's Facebook page. And that's your Bridge City News community calendar.
Bullying remains an ongoing concern for many, and TELUS has teamed up with the Lethbridge Hurricanes for End Bullying Night last Friday at the NMAX Center to raise awareness and get the conversation going about this important topic. BCN's Micah Quinn has the story.
The Lethbridge Hurricanes will take on the Edmonton Oil Kings tonight, and the special theme is #EndBullying.
TELUS is proud to sponsor the End Bullying game tonight with the Lethbridge Hurricanes. The End Bullying game is all about providing awareness and resources so Canadians can come together and create a safe digital space for everyone.
42% of youth have experienced cyberbullying, and it does not just impact the youth.
If you go to teluswise.com/resources, you will find all kinds of amazing tip sheets on how to keep your kids safe online, parent tip sheets, and you can also request a workshop where we can come into your school, into your place of business, and teach you parenting tips, how to be safe online, internet safety, cyberbullying. We have workshops for youth, we have workshops for junior high, we have workshops for teenagers, adults, and even seniors.
Barlow says the community reaction to #EndBullying has been well received.
We've gone into different schools and taught in various TELUS-wise workshops, and a really fun, cool thing that I was able to do was when I went into the schools and taught the workshops, I was able to have them take the End Bullying Pledge right then and there. And as a token for standing together to end bullying, I offered them tickets to come to the game tonight so that we can all stand together and show our support to end bullying and create a safer space together.
TELUS Wise has reached over 170,000 Canadians through its End Bullying workshops. For Bridge City News, I'm Micah Quinn.
Thank you, Micah. The charity group Canadian Humanitarian is disputing allegations that its staff members who are detained in Ethiopia were practicing medicine without permission. 13 Canadians who work with the Medicine Hat Alberta-based organization are among 15 people being detained. They are also accused of dispensing expired medication. The charity says the group is made up of doctors and other medical professionals who jump through every possible bureaucratic hoop to provide care. It's working with Global Affairs Canada and the Canadian Embassy in Ethiopia to resolve the issue. Intense heat, poisonous gases, molten lava. The conditions for Nick Melendez's latest tightrope walk are downright hellish, and that's just the way he wants it. His walk across the Messiah volcano in Nicaragua will broadcast live on ABC Wednesday on March 4th.
I had a vision of walking over a volcano, like I said, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, maybe even before that. But then I start researching them on my own, going and looking at locations and then going, okay, well, this one might work, and then finding the one that is the best. Best is not what one would think. One would think best for a wire walker has to do with no winds, has to do with no gases. For me, that all adds drama and excitement. So I'm looking for that, but also the right distance. Again, this is the longest and highest I've ever done. That's one of the reasons why I really liked this particular volcano, as well as the fact that it has an active lava lake down below. Yeah, a big part of my training, I will be practicing in a smoky room, but it's training, believe it or not, with my eyes closed. It's training with a gas mask on. It's training with goggles on. It's training with wind machines. It's kind of throwing every element that I'll be facing. Of course, we can't recreate the actual sulfuric gases that are in the air, but wearing the mask, which filters that out, is a great simulation of that. No, so the cables can't go up early because that sulfuric gases in the air will actually eat through the cable.
Tamara LaRue is the author of the book Second Chance at Heaven, and she shares part of her amazing story of surviving a suicide attempt. That is coming up right after this short break. Stay with us.